Prince Harry is in trouble as he has been slammed for certain comments that he made in the recent trip to Nigeria. Want to know what that's all about? Stay tuned. Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, looking after Popcorn Palace whilst Andy is away at the moment. Apologies for my voice, it is coming back, a little bit of a sore throat, but yes, the show must go on and Prince Harry is in trouble for making apparently appalling comments on in-laws amid the rift with Megzi's own family. Oh yes, you can be the judge as to whether you think his comments are appalling or not, but it's been described as him being criticised on social media for some comments that he made in Nigeria when he was invited with Megzi to the Lagos State Government House on Sunday. And if I've mispronounced that, Lagos, my apologies. Now, you would think, okay, if you look at mainstream media a little bit, that the couple's visit to Nigeria was a little bit of a success. Not really, but okay. They're trying to sugarcoat it for whatever reason. And yes, they are all seeing Megzi being described as Nigeria's new princess. After she claims that she's 43% Nigerian. But, you know, as we've reported on this channel, yeah, there are 3 Nigerian ladies in particular that are pretty much demanding the receipts for that. Anywho, okay, yeah, Prince Harry, during this visit to Lagos State Government House, made some very controversial statements that he has now been slammed for and have been described as appalling. He gave a speech at the event and addressed those gathered as his, quote, in-laws. Oh, yes. So this is what Prince Harry said. He says, quote, "I'll skip the protocol because at this point, we're all family. Thank you for welcoming my wife and myself to Nigeria." He said this was the pair's first visit, but certainly it would not be their last. Adding, "Thank you for the naming ceremony. I don't know how I got dragged into that as well, but to be able to witness it as well next to my wife, it means a huge amount to both of us, but especially her, so thank you for that." Now, just as a little bit of a side note here, a little bit of linguistic analysis going on, for him to say, "I don't know how I got dragged into the naming ceremony," but then saying it means a huge amount to both of us to be able to, you know, witness it. Yeah, no, that's a contradiction. Either you're dragged into something, describing that something being dragged into as something that you really didn't want to be a part of, or it meant a huge amount to you to be there. Which one is it? Which one is it indeed? Anywho, Megzi then also addressed the crowd, couldn't hide her emotions, saying, "I'm missing my babies." Yeah, a lot of people are missing Archie and Lilibet. Some even going so far to say that they don't exist at all. So why not take them on your next trip, right? So you're not missing your babies after all. And those that are saying that they don't exist, well, the proof is in the pudding. They then exist, right? Right? I'm just saying for a friend, that's all. But she also says, "It feels appropriate that although of course we're missing our children, I'm missing my babies, it feels very appropriate to be in the motherland and amongst family." Yeah, wasn't it just a couple of years ago that she was turning around and saying essentially that her motherland was Malta because her great-great-grandmother or something like that was Maltese? And she went to Malta and she was like, you know, "I'm rediscovering my roots, this, that and the other." Again, I'm just asking for a friend, guys. Now, Hazard's comments about, you know, being with the in-laws situation in Nigeria has sparked fierce debate on social media. Some people wondering why he would actually use the term in-laws to address a crowd of people he wasn't actually familiar with before his visit. Several critics also pointing out that whilst he described his audience as in-laws, he has no relationship actually with his real in-laws, which is Megzi's side of the family, father Thomas Markle Sr., or her siblings, Samantha and Thomas Jr. And, you know, it's a great point, right? Why use the term in-laws favourably to a bunch of people that you haven't met until that visit, where your real in-laws, you have, from what we can see, zero relationship with whatsoever. It's a bit of a smack in the teeth, right, guys? So someone wrote on Twitter, quote, "He's so desperate to find a family that he's willing to go above and beyond. Journey, people, his in-laws, he has in-laws, he has a father-in-law, a mother-in-law, he has a stepsister, a stepbrother-in-law. Oh yeah, he disowned everybody." Right? Another critic adding, Harry, traitor to his own family, hasn't even met his actual father-in-law who was begged to see him, Megzi and his grandchildren. This is truly appalling. Someone else wrote, he has lost the plot. Exactly. He can't call, as far as I'm concerned, a bunch of strangers from another country, right, his in-laws, when he, as far as I'm concerned, is not treating his real in-laws right whatsoever. And not only his in-laws, but his actual family himself, right? So here we have a headline where, you know, it's actually confirmed, it looks like, that King Charles actually offered Hazza a place to stay in one of the royal residences. But guess what? Hazza apparently rejected it, according to friends of the king, saying Hazza reportedly declined his father's invitation and stayed at a hotel during the 3-day trip instead last week when he was in the UK to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Invictus Games. Strangely, Megzi wasn't there. Usually she is when it has to do with anything Invictus. Interesting to note, right? So King Charles's friends told the Sunday Times that the king was willing to actually let Hazza enjoy royal accommodations in London, but friends claimed that had Harry stayed in a royal residence, it would have been easier then for him to see King Charles, because it all came out from Hazza's side, right? That, King can't see me, my dad can't see me because he's too busy, right? He's got a full engagement kind of situation. But King Charles, well, his friends anyway, are fighting back saying no. The king was willing to see him. If he'd stayed at one of the royal residences that the king had offered, it would have been much easier then for Hazza to see his dad. But, you know, it's Hazza's fault because he declined the invitation. You see, it's all coming out now, right, guys? Sources close to Hazza allege that King Charles chose not to see his son during the trip, which King Charles's friends are now claiming it is completely untrue. And I totally believe this side of the story, 100%. And this is the thing, right? It's going even further now because King Charles, enough is enough. He is taking steps now to stop the Commonwealth, i.e. Nigeria and the rest of them, inviting Megzi and Hazza to visit. Now, on my channel, I actually reported on this notion that, yeah, guys, it does look like Megzi and Hazza may have a secret plot to try and become the heads of the Commonwealth and try and take over from the royal family. Looks like King Charles is responding and being like, we're going to stop you dead in your tracks. And if you want to know more about this story, then please make sure you head on over to my channel, Steph the Alternate. I'll be reporting it there later on today. But with that being said, if you appreciated this particular video and you want more from Popcorn Palace, and of course you do because my logic is undeniable, make sure you subscribe here as well. We're getting so close for achieving 100,000 subscribers here on Popcorn Palace. So help us achieve it here. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever. Thank you so much for tuning in and, you know, bearing with me and this particular voice at the moment. A little bit on the husky side there, guys. But until the next time, laters. Bye.